Ah, greetings, traveler. It is a pleasure to see you. Yes, there's a slight break in the weather, but the storm is coming back stronger than ever. But please, don't stand out here in the weather. You are more than welcome to enter my humble abode and share the fire with me.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth.
Well, traveler, the Irish fella hasn't been doing too bad lately. I was able to participate in a live stream yesterday with some of the heavy hitters like Mr. Elite, Mr. Former, Portuguese MGTOW, and some of the new ones. I'm especially intrigued with Project Mayhem because I feel we do need to get our message out to a wider public. However, some things don't change. It's unfortunate that there are many people that just not only do not understand MGTOW philosophy, but they're actively fighting against people trying to spread it. And they're spreading all sorts of incorrect and occasionally hateful information. And that is not a situation I can tolerate. So, Bean Willie, yes, it is your turn on the hot seat. And this was a tough one because I gotta admit, you started off on the wrong foot, tripped over yourself, and managed to break it off in your own ass. And that wasn't even a minute and a half into your video. That you sure crammed a lot of stupid and ignorant in that short amount of time. But I'll try to break it down for you so even your old ass can understand. So, I have no idea what it is you talk about on your channel. And I don't care, but we'll get to that later. You mentioned that you did a little research on MGTOW. Yeah, little is right. It looks like you threw in some keywords to Google, looked at a list, watched one or two videos with catchy titles, and then you drew the wrong conclusions. Yes, and what you did is what qualifies the word ridiculous. Your actions are as bad as the leftist exercise program. In case you haven't heard of that, that's stretching the truth, jumping to conclusions, and running off at the mouth. Now, my research was done over 2 months and 2,000 separate videos, along with a lot of soul searching. You, in the time it took to boil some eggs, you found out everything there was about MGTOW. Well, I don't know how many times I can say wrong in the same sentence. And Bean, I don't want you to think that I'm getting pleasure from this, because I've been thinking about this for a few days. I mean, you look almost as old as me. And that word OLD is one I tend not to use anymore, because age is just a number. But let's just say you are a man who's been around the block. Like I say, I've been to a World's Fair, a picnic, and a rodeo. There ain't much I haven't seen. So you are, if you're the same age as me or within a few years, you were right on the tail end of the gentleman culture, when a man's word was his bond and all you needed was a handshake. And you knew, because you were taught, that you don't make hasty promises, but if you do make a promise, you keep it. And to be a good example. But you, I just don't know, man. I mean, hearing you talk, now that there is a difference between ignorant and stupid, but it seemed like with almost every sentence you were crossing back and forth over that line. Like you were playing hopscotch back on the block back in the day. So, I noticed you tried to do a little subtle shot on men, because men have decided they don't want to deal with things the way they are, and it says, but men make all the rules. Oops, sorry. There we go. I thought I was doing better. There we go. But see, you obviously haven't been paying attention to the man behind the curtain. Women are the majority of voters now, especially with so many black men being incarcerated for bullshit crimes. A lot of them, even after they get out of prison, they don't have their voting rights. So it's the women who are in control. And despite what a politician will tell you, their primary goal is to get reelected. After all, how can they steal their fair share if they're not in office? So, yes, it is men that make the laws, and it's men pandering to women that have made these laws possible, because all they're doing is buying votes with your tax money and, if you're lucky enough to get divorce raped, your resources. Oh, and by the way, I am highly insulted that you tried so hard to connect men going their own way and seeking validation for themselves with gay people and pedophiles. That's disgusting. You don't fucking know me. Do not talk to me like that again. I don't know you from Adam, and I wouldn't pull that bullshit on you. See, you're so big into the simp culture, you're automatically attacking anything that doesn't help women, even if it means your own demise. But you don't even see that, do you? You're too blinded by the golden V to know what the fuck is going on. So maybe some of those urges for gay or a pedophile is what you identify as, and you're projecting it on us so you don't feel guilty. That's why men are walking away. And I consider myself a self-appointed guardian of the MGTOW philosophy, which is why I'm talking to you, Bean. You're misrepresenting the principles that I live by, my life by. And you are not gonna lie on the standards I live by and say that's the way they all are. You're a lying motherfucker, and I'm gonna call you out on it every single fucking time. Yes, I'm upset. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you're talking shit out your ass. It is not a movement. It is not a diversionary tactic. It is self-preservation, survival, self-actualization, and empowerment. And if you could actually research the subject rather than 2 minutes on Google, maybe you would have recognized that. Now, let me share with you some of the very basics of the MGTOW philosophy. Do not be a baby daddy. Do not get married. Do not move in with a woman. Do not let a woman move in with you. That's pretty much the basics right there. Everything, virtually everything else, is like the menu at a Chinese buffet. You can pick and choose whatever you want to do based on life experience, circumstance, and karma. Oh, by the way, I was kind of curious about something. It seems like you went out of your way to attack MGTOW as inhuman animals. But I didn't hear you say a word about Ibmore. See, you didn't do enough research to be able to write on the back of a fucking matchbook. So how would you know? Ibmore is introspective black men of reform. It is basically MGTOW philosophy through the lens of black culture. Did you even know that existed? How about SYSBM? Save yourselves, black men. Now, assuming that you can actually see something and you're not as blind as Ray Charles, then you would know the deplorable state of relations between men and women in the black community. Black women don't even want to be told. They don't want to be informed. They don't want to be told. They don't even want to be talked to. They consider any of that uh, aggressive behavior. But black women want to be more like the men than the men do. That's not a good situation. But, you know, instead of these other organizations that do virtually the same thing, you attack MGTOW. Now, why is that? I get the feeling you're a closet racist. And don't say you're not, because I've known virulent, nasty racists who were black people in my own family. Yes, and I'm black too. You would think, as old as you are, you would be past that Mickey Mouse bullshit. But I guess not. Once a racist, always a racist. And that I like the way you tried to do this one. The phrase you said was stripped of masculinity. Well, you know what strips you of your masculinity? Being attacked by your wife or girlfriend and you go to jail for domestic violence charges. Now, I'm not big on modern culture, but I believe Little Bow Wow, yeah, she attacked him. He has defensive wounds all over his face, but he was the one that got arrested. You don't seem to have a problem with that. Or how about family court? You know, here's a guy working hard. There's been cases of men who have purchased their own homes before a woman was ever on the scene. They get married, have a couple kids, the divorce happens, she gets his house. Or my personal favorite, Me Too. All you got to do is drop a dime on Facebook. He said I was pretty, that's harassment. Bam, you're fired. Bam, your private bank account is closed. Nobody wants to talk to you anymore. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. There's no police report? Oh, that don't matter. Me Too, listen and believe. Yeah, you don't have a problem with that because I didn't hear you say one word about women having any responsibility. You know, your lack of research is obvious here as well. So, the next time that phrase, don't get it twisted, comes into your mind, you should hold up a mirror so you can see who needs to hear that the most. You know, women do not consider men valuable at all. The only value they see in us is in what they can extract from us. And after that, we're kicked to the curb. It don't matter how hard we're trying. Women are only thinking of themselves. And you're so heavy into simp programming, you're playing right along with it. You know, women are invading and destroying men's spaces, while at the same, demanding that they be included, and at the same time demanding that they have a separate women's only space because they're so delicate and fragile. But it seems like all the relationship problems you brought up, you're blaming the man. But MGTOW is essentially the knowledge that we red pill brothers share among ourselves concerning female nature, and the fact that we do not need validation from a woman to live a happy life. And don't even come up with that gay bullshit again, bitch. Now, not only did taking the red pill make me realize my own value as a man, it helped me understand female nature. Now, this is my interpretation. You may not agree with it at all, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Yes, this is part of it. A lamprey who attaches to other fish, bores into their body and sucks their blood for nourishment. And a succubus, a demon in female form who seduces men through sex. Now, I don't want that feminist mutant combination anywhere near me. My wallet and my sanity are worth more than the attention of a lion female. And now, the game is the game. I've been gone from the hood a long time, so I'm not quite sure what you mean like this, by this, but even an old fool like you should realize relationships are not a game. I mean, you sort of skirted around it and came close to the truth, and then you backed off like a little kid that touched the hot stove. So not only are you calling relationships, where a man and a woman should be together as a team, supporting each other and their children. You just blame men for anything possible that would go wrong. And then, what was it? Step up. Be a man. Oh, I got burned. My girlfriend had me thrown in jail on domestic violence charges, and when I got out, she had emptied the house. But, according to you, oh, don't worry about it. Step up, be a man, get into another relationship. The fuck I would. Step up, I step the fuck off. That's why the man is here, Thomas Jefferson. He said, if a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to do so. Why should I support a system that sees me at zero value and is automatically going to assume I am the criminal. I am the perpetrator. It's my fault. Because some little snowflake got her fifis hurt. Suddenly, it's a major crime. But she does it to me. Well, you don't have any problem with that because you never mentioned it. And then you came so close. You said, choose a better situation. Well, that's what MGTOW is all about, fool. Now, a smart man will learn from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Yet, if you ever were exposed to real red pill truth, you threw that sumbitch up. It's like the man said, you can't handle the truth. So you rejected it, and now you want to shame everybody else who is accepting it. And I couldn't believe you said that. If your sons came and said, I've taken the red pill and I'm backing away from women. Oh, hell no, you're not. Really? So you don't want to impart to your sons your life experience so they don't make the same mistakes you did? That's what any parent does. What the fuck is your problem? So I guess this is the motto you follow. Experience is a hard teacher, but a fool will learn from no other. That's why I produce content. I will endure a moment of embarrassment to share a situation with some young bloods out there. So if they know better than to get into that situation, then I just saved them a lot of grief, time, and money. And what's wrong with that? Well, according to you, Oh, no, you can't do that. So, at this point, you went completely off the rails. Now, you talked about hate. Well, red pill rage is real. Anyone who's had a steady diet of them has that happen. But it's not hatred for women. It's usually self-hatred and anger about situations that you can't do anything about. And you realize how you were being manipulated and taken advantage of. But even when I was in the middle, deep in the rage, I was still moving forward. And when I finally had that day happen, when I had that mental convergence and all the dominoes fell into pattern, and I realized my own value as a man, that's when the bitter red pill aftertaste faded. That's when my vision cleared and I could see a whole new world in front of me. As I've said before, the red pill just gets you through the first door. Surpassing the rage gets you through the second door. After that, there is unlimited potential in your grasp. So, I don't have hatred for women, just indifference. I know their tricks, I know their games, and I refuse to play. And you're absolutely inept and ridiculous attempt to smear the founding fathers and Shakespearean era actors. That's not even worth talking about. I don't know what, geez. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe you had the crack pipe just off screen and you took a hit just before you started taping. That's about the only thing I can think of that would make you do that. And you know, I don't even know what you talk about on your channel, but, you know, I was watching yours and taking notes, and then the next one came up, I turned it off. I don't care what you got to say no more. Because you talk shit about a philosophy that I guide my life by, and I'm trying to keep pure for others who are coming along, you poisoned the well. I don't give a fuck what you got to say now. You know, you expressed a little supposed sympathy for men being divorce raped, but you have contempt for someone trying to learn from another man's mistake. Damn. And again, MGTOW has nothing in common with being gay. You're the one who keeps throwing that gay label at us trying to make it stick. And you a lying motherfucker. You need to cut that shit out. It's hard to believe gynocentric culture has you so blinded you think simping is better than freedom. Ah, traveler. I apologize for subjecting you to this rant, but as a self-appointed guardian of the MGTOW philosophy, I feel I have to. There are people that put out content for me, and I looked at a bunch of it before I fully committed myself. And I know there are other people out there searching. And they need to know they don't have to put up with this blue-pilled simp existence. They don't have to put up with being divorce raped, Me Too'd, shamed for having testosterone. No. You are a man and you have value. The matriarchy may not see it, but your red pill brothers do. So, traveler, I hope you will take these words to heart. And remember, I still say some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet.